Thank you for joining Live Beyond Boundaries. My name is Nidirah, and today we're going to talk about trusting your intuition. Okay, so for a long time, in a particular situation, I had been feeling very uneasy, very confused when dealing with this person. The words did not match the feeling and the emotion and the energy that surround us. And by me not trusting in my intuition and in myself and what I was feeling, and by putting this person or this situation on this pedestal, by following certain rules and dogmas that's been embedded in me since a childhood and from seeing other similar situations around me, I really kept myself in a situation that I should have long been gone out of. And I don't know if that could be the Aries in me that's pretty stubborn, because my sun is in Aries, and so we could be a little stubborn and feel like that we can rush and push through anything just based off pure will and determination. And in certain situations, that is, what we need to hold on to get us through certain points in our lives, but this was not one of them. And I let it go on for so long that the universe was like, look, we're just gonna snatch the band-aid off right now and force you to face your intuition and do what's best for you, because you're holding up your blessing. And by you holding up your blessing, you're holding up the people who you're supposed to help blessings and their healing. Okay, so that's what we're gonna talk about today. We've already discussed finding that inner peace, but once you realize, or once you start feeling sick and you can't concentrate on anything else, that's really your spirit team like, hey, listen to us, this is not good for you. Certain things that I relied on, I think that hurt me in the end, is when you're in a union with someone, when you're committed to someone, or married to someone, you have this notion that this person is supposed to be your all. They're supposed to be able to supply you with every emotional and physical and psychological need that you have. And this is something that has been practiced for many, many generations. And I'm not saying that everyone attunes to this, but that is the general message that goes out when you're, talking to your granny and she's like, just stick it out, whatever it is, just stick through it. And while that is okay for certain situations, and you definitely just don't want to give up on connections and on people, you do need to pay attention to how you're feeling, because your emotions is definitely your compass to the world around you, how things are affecting you, your thoughts and your emotions. And it's very complicated, but just the gist of it, the basics of it, that's what we're referencing. So no one really can bring you happiness. You have to have the happiness within yourself. No one can be your lover. No one person can wear all the hats of people that you need in your life. And I definitely feel like that I put myself at a disadvantage by not allowing other people into my life. Not that I didn't really want them there, but I really didn't put the energy and the effort into maintaining certain relationships in my life when I got married. And that definitely put a lot of pressure on my spouse to fill certain voids within myself. And hindsight being 2020, I understand that I cannot have a successful relationship with anyone, with my siblings or with my parents or with friends or romances without first knowing myself and honoring myself, honoring my boundaries, not speaking my truth. And those things really do wear it down. And love can only take you so far. True love can take you even further, but it won't take you to the end. It's really self-love and knowing thyself is really what helps support you in all areas of your life and your relationships. If you start to rely on other people too much, if you start to withhold your truth because now you don't want to upset this person or cause conflict, you are really hurting yourself. And that is not something that is sustainable. So it's really important for you to definitely know what you need, not attempt to suppress it because of a certain belief system that you were taught to believe, or a certain dogma that you just kind of picked up along the way, or societal rules on how things should be handled. And obviously for each person and for each relationship and dynamic, it's going to be different. That's why it's important for you to be able to have open and honest conversations with the people that you're dealing with. And this doesn't have to be romantic. It can be, your parents, your siblings, or your acquaintances, you're at school or at work, or your co-workers, So being honest with yourself, knowing what your boundaries are, knowing what you need, and honoring that you need that. And I'm not saying not to compromise with other people in your relationships, because there is a certain level of compromise that comes with interacting with other people, and that's something that you guys would discuss and be honest with each other about, and not hide those feelings, because in the end, everybody kind of loses their peace and they're blaming the other person, when really you can only blame yourself because you did not speak your piece. You did not take the time to know yourself and find out exactly what you need in order to function and move forward in your life. Okay. There comes a point, like I was saying earlier, where the universe will rip that Band-Aid off, and you are absolutely forced to look at yourself and look at all of your insecurities, all of the times where you did not enforce your boundaries, times where you gave up too much of yourself, and basically not honoring yourself overall. You did not honor yourself. And so with you not honoring yourself, whoever you're having this conflict with or this mirroring with, they tend to also lose that, I don't want to say respect, but the boundaries aren't up. And so it's really hard for them to tell where to navigate in this relationship. And not really saying that it's their fault. Everyone has a certain level of blame to take here. And we're going to just leave that there. But you are the only person that can give you peace. And when you choose not to speak your truth, you're hurting yourself and you're hurting that other person. You're hurting the entire connection and the people around you, because it does have a rippling effect, especially if you have children or other people in the family live in the vicinity of you guys. It can really turn into a shit show after a while. After years and years and decades even of not being in your truth, of staying in this little box and not, honoring yourself, it really plays a toll. So it's important for you to journal. Journaling is like a huge tool that you can use to kind of really figure out what you want, what you need. Just put it all out on the paper. You don't have to hold on to it. You can burn it if you want, or write a letter. You can write a song, or you can draw or paint or do some type of artistic activity to really help you tap into how you're feeling and really know what needs to be communicated to this person and what you probably can keep to yourself, because it's more of a personal issue than it is a issue that relates to this person, or they're something that they can control or cannot control. Okay, so journaling, I think, is probably one of the greatest tools that you can use to kind of get your thoughts out on paper and to really understand where you are and what do you need to address before things start to get out of hand. And it can also help you in the detachment process, because I know for myself, I tend to get attached to my romances very, very quickly, very, very strongly. I love so hard. My Venus is in Taurus, so I get really comfortable. I really like to be laid back. I really like the luxury things of the relationship and cuddling and being expressive. Those are the things that I like. And if I'm starting to notice that my spouse is not really into that, I really have to be honest with myself about, is this something that I can keep up? Is this something that I can, sit through? Is this something that is this something that we can work out or maybe compromise? And when you start to focus more so on what you need and trying to force another person to give you that, you really start to deteriorate your relationship. And it's like beating your head against a wall, like you're bleeding, you're passing out, and yet this person is still not willing or able to accommodate you or meet you in the middle. And I know for myself, it just took me a long time to realize, like, you know what, this is not working and I need to walk away. And I definitely caused more trauma to myself than I needed to, because I did not utilize my tools and really finding myself and what I need. And what I need to give to myself, because honestly, it's really not my spouse's or my mom's or my coworkers' responsibility to take care of me. It is my responsibility to give myself what I need. And honestly, just holding yourself accountable will help alleviate so much drama and trauma in your life. Holding yourself accountable, being real to yourself, because everybody is maybe not meant to be in your life forever. And when you hold on to too tight to someone, I really do feel like you squeeze them out of your life. And it's really kind of sad, but it's definitely a huge learning factor. For me, it was definitely a tower moment, a very shocking event that pretty much changed my life forever. And I'm not going to say that it changed my life in a bad way. It was definitely a traumatic transition, but I definitely see things clearly. They're starting to clear up. Yes, so journaling is an important tool. Using your natal chart to understand yourself a lot more. As I mentioned earlier, my Venus is in Taurus, so I understand a little bit more how I interact in relationships and what I'm really geared towards looking for and accepting. Now, astrology can be so deep. People spend their whole lives studying astrology, learning something new every day. But you really want to at least know the basics. You want to know what the 12 signs mean. You want to know what house they're in for you. And there's some aspects that's pretty important for you to kind of recognize as well. And I'm not saying that these energies are permanent, but if you can understand the basics of what energy is really influencing you, then you can make the proper decisions to take the necessary actions to get the outcome that you want. Okay, so I hope that made sense, but astrology is a very important tool in learning yourself, and what you tend to give out and what you need out of life. So keep that in mind. Numerology falls in line with that too. Your life path number, the day that you were born, all these numbers have an influence on you. And kind of put you into this natural energy of how you're going to respond. I kind of feel like it's more like an instinctual way of how you would approach things versus you using your logic mind. Okay, so definitely look into your astrology. Astro Cafe is free. It takes 5 minutes. Reading the interpretations definitely would take longer, but you want to take your time with reading the interpretations, and you really want to see what resonates with you, because there's so many different aspects and other influences that come into play with astrology and also numerology, that you just want to kind of take your time with it and take what resonates with you, what you recognize within yourself, because everything that pertains to a sun in Aries does not really apply to me. And why is that? That could be because my Scorpio is my rising ascent, versus maybe someone who's a Sun Aries and maybe a Sagittarius rising. You know, their Aries qualities are going to be a bit different because they also have that Sagittarius energy playing in there. Okay, so hopefully you kind of get that. But learning your astrology and your numerology is vital. It's vital to you understanding what you need, what you don't need, what type of boundaries you need to set up, and generally how you instinctively act towards certain situations or planetary influences, okay? I will also say that tarot card readings, like I love tarot cards. You really have to be in a place of being able to get into a meditative state and connecting with your spirit team and your spirit guides, because it's so easy for your energy to influence the cards. So you don't want to be distraught or in your emotions unless you're just really trying to get a reflection of how you're feeling. You may be a little confused on how you're feeling, and when you're in this state, pulling some cards will mirror back to you the things that you're feeling. That is very, very, very helpful, because you can put words to these feelings now. And then once you calm down and you get into a meditative state, then you can be able to connect with your spirit team using the cards, but now the cards are probably going to appear a bit different because now you're talking with your spirit team. There's so many YouTube channels. There's so many phenomenal readers. You can learn the basics of tarot cards probably in a day. Definitely practicing them, and put your own meaning to the card. Put your own meaning to the cards as well. Meditation is I would say the number one way. Meditation along with journaling, because sometimes you could just have so much going on within you that your mind will not shut up. It won't do it. And so you have to journal, or you can record yourself. You can record yourself and just get that shit out of your head. Get it out of your head. Kind of let it flow out. Don't stop it. Don't hold it up. Just let it do what it needs to do. Get it out of there. And then go into a meditative state. It's kind of like the same process, but without the tarot cards. Because when you're just distraught and something just happened, or and sometimes it just takes us a while to kind of calm down and face the reality of a situation. And I know for me, I had been married for 18 years, 17 and a half years, whatever, 2 decades. I've been with this person, and I'm not just going to be over them in a week. I really wish that was the case, but for me, it's not. And I contribute a lot of that to my Taurus and my Venus in Taurus, but I also attribute that to my Capricorn mind that's always thinking and analyzing things, and also my Scorpio rising, which Scorpios, they get deep, man. Scorpio is about that deep ass hidden emotion, so meditation, journaling, tarot card reading, being honest with yourself, listening to high vibing music. I think all music has its place. It all has certain vibes that it's giving out. I know when I need to feel empowered, I'm probably putting on some Lizzo or some Beyonce, some Ella Fitzgerald, whatever, some Mahalia Jackson, to really get that good feeling going. I like Janae Naiko, I love that music to kind of put me in certain moods, to kind of help me get through the day. And really realizing and understand that you deserve the best. You deserve people in your life that's going to support you, understand you, and, create a synergy type of relationship. And, someone always says that hurt people, and I think that that's more so like dysfunctional people hurt people, and I guess that hurt and dysfunction is two completely different things to me. Hurt is just a feeling that you feel when things don't go your way, or you're constantly being bombarded with negativity, perceived negativity, because it's your perception that's making it negative, and being stuck in that mindset of being hurt starts to make you dysfunctional, because you really can't see the world in a different way. And so I believe that it is the dysfunction that you allow yourself to go into from your hurts that causes you to hurt other people, that in a way causes you to feel like people are supposed to just know what you need, even though you're not speaking honestly. People are supposed to just know, and you're not really giving them the information that they need to kind of be like, to properly assess the situation, and so that's why it can become really dangerous when you hold on to these certain beliefs and like, yeah, I want to stick with you through thick and thin. However, when it starts to wear down on me, when it starts to disconnect myself from who I am, it's time to take a step back. And that's a lesson that I learned not too late, but it took me a really long time to get, and to kind of just let it go in love. There doesn't need to be a dramatic ending. It doesn't need to be a whole grand performance in front of people. I really like to just take the approach of walking away, because I can get really, really obnoxious and, kind of bring the fuckery out. And I don't want to allow anyone to take me to that space. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care if we've been married for 20 years. I absolutely cannot allow anyone to take me to that place. And for me, that's because it takes me so long to get out of that, to raise my vibration up, because my mind would just keep going. Like, I could literally write for days and days, and that's how long it would take for me to kind of clear my mind of that and be able to really focus on what the core of the problem is and address that. So yeah, I think that is all that I really wanted to talk about. I really hope that this was helpful for you in a way. I think it's really, really important to focus on learning yourself and having your own tools at your disposal, music, and that includes frequencies. 528 is the frequency of love. And, you can use that to help bring you into an alignment, a positive alignment. Affirmations is a great way. Going for a walk in nature and talking with the trees. You can talk to the trees, and although they don't physically speak back to you, to some people they do, but they will really give you off a vibe of love. If you could just really just tune into nature, they definitely will give you the answers. They definitely will take that negativity and kind of recycle it and give you some of that positive energy. Taking spiritual baths and salt water, and really set everything with intention. And that's setting everything with intention. To me, it's like practicing high magic, but using your intentions to create the outcomes that you want. And intentions is the same as programming. You can program your water to give you a certain feeling or to help you realize certain things. Herbs are a great way of reaching the frequency that you need or want in your life. There's so many different tools out here. I already mentioned tarot cards. You can use pendulums to connect with your spirit guide. Detoxing your body. Oh my God, when I detoxed my liver, my whole outlook on my life changed. It was very dramatic. And my physical body changed too. Like I'm really starting to drop a lot of weight. I'm going to the bathroom multiple times a day. I have a better clarity on certain things in my life, even though I like to double and triple check things, which I don't have to do. I am coming out of that, but just cleaning out my liver and getting rid of those gallstones really lightened not only my body, because I think I lost like almost 10 pounds on that detox, but it lightened my spirit. Some of those negative feelings and emotions that I've had and held in my body for decades finally got released, because it moves from etheric to mental to physical. And that's the same thing with your body. Your ailments start off in the ethers, then you kind of get in this habit of thinking a certain way. It's in your thoughts. So thoughts are like the ethereal. You think it, but you think it so much that it affects your emotion. And so now it comes down a dimension into your emotion. And now you're in the habit of thinking this thing and experiencing this emotion. Then it starts to manifest into a physical thing. And if it's negative, it can be gallstones, it could be kidney stones, it can be cancer, any of those things. Everything has to be treated. We have multiple layers to our existence, and so it's not just the physical body that we want to focus on. We also want to make sure that we're paying attention to our thoughts and our emotions. So I'm kind of running out of time here. We're definitely going to revisit the different tools. I definitely had a whole list of tools that I want to talk about, which I lost, which is so funny because I have recorded this episode 3 times, and each time it just kept getting deleted. So hopefully this time this one sticks around, and I'm just speaking my truth. I'm just speaking from my heart, and I just really hope that somehow, some way, that this can actually help someone. I don't really know who's listening to this, but I love you. Thank you so much. And I pulled some tarot cards, so I'm going to read the tarot cards. Well, I guess divine the cards. So I pulled from the Isis Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild, and we got Divine Sisterhood, which is so amazing. I'm so glad that this card came out, because I've been talking to a lot of my clients, and we are all kind of going through the same thing with our relationships. And I really feel like that it's the planetary energies that's clearing out bullshit. That doesn't mean that your specific relationship is gonna be over or it needs to be terminated, but it does mean that there's gonna be some major dynamics that's gonna shift. And also it might mean that you need to end this relationship, or at least take a time of separation. So Divine Sisterhood, community of the spiritual sisters and brothers of light. Okay, so Spirit Tribe, this is what I'm getting from that. So it says, in community that is based on equality, respect, healthy boundaries, and personal freedom, with a mutual desire for spiritual growth and honoring of innate wisdom, great miracles occur. You are part of this community of light. At one time, it existed only in the spiritual worlds, yet now it is being born onto the earth. It is part of your destiny to help create and nurture a conscious community that empowers all of its members and is based in truth. Y'all, when we just talking about this, it's about being honest with yourself and knowing what you need, being truthful to yourself and setting those boundaries so that you can create your ideal environment. The ideal people who need to be around you, and also to help inspire others. It says here, it is part of your destiny to help create and nurture a conscious community that empowers all of its members and is based in truth. So speak your truth, know yourself. The Oracle of the Divine Sisterhood is based on the love between the goddesses of ancient Egypt, Hathor, Isis, Beset, and Sekhmet, and more. So call upon these deities. If you are into the ancient Kemetic mysteries, then, really tap into these. Like, I've worked with Hathor, Isis, and now I'm getting into Sekhmet. She's coming up a lot more, and let me tell y'all, we're going to talk about that at another podcast. Sekhmet is powerful, and Sekhmet and Hathor they have some great things going on. I'm not even finna get into it. So we also pulled the Chariot. And let me tell you, the Chariot is about forward momentum. It's about self-discipline. It's about self-control. It's about knowing yourself, knowing your truth, and moving forward in that truth. So that's something that we've been talking about today. And also I pulled the Ten of Swords upright. So don't be mad, y'all. The Ten of Swords is about closure. It's about, okay, yeah, you may have hit rock bottom, but look, the sun is coming up. This is over. Have your moment. Cry it out. Write in your journal. Cuss a motherfucker out. Go to the trees and cuss their ass out and tell them to remove this pain from you. But whatever you need to do, just know that it's closure. You are at a place where you can finally see yourself, see your truth, move forward in it, and put the past behind you. Okay, so I really, really, really hope that this podcast helped you. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here with me. Again, my name is Nidirah. If you have any questions, if you have any comments or any requests for anything that you want me to discuss or talk about, hit me up on livebeyondboundaries44@gmail.com. Toodles, love you.